Val.
Hello, how are you and how do you do? That's my
You
new
know how much I
song.
love kicking off the show with that song. We got to find your Sunshine song that we used to play on the station, on the radio station, and that was equally annoying, but it was more fun, I think.
The good morning, good morning, good
Again,
morning. It's time to rise and shine. That
that's the
one?
one. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It is Curt and Jen in the morning. This is our podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for viewing. And as always, if you get a chance, follow us. We'll follow you.
Like,
Like,
share,
follow, smile,
love,
smile,
subscribe.
whatever.
Yes, all the things.
For today, we've got some fun stuff to talk about. Apparently, the economy is failing because of sausage.
Ooh.
Uh, Also, you're not crazy. You actually might be smelling crayons. Hmm. Bosses in Australia can no longer ruin employees' weekends. That's nice.
And the only reasons you should ever actually make a phone call, which is bologna slices to me.
How about your personal walk-up songs? We asked you yesterday to let us know if you have a walk-up song for your life, what would it be? And we've got some great ones to
And
share.
this next one that we're going to talk about is, I feel like it might be a little ridiculous.
Okay. What
We're
would you be
taking a
interested
little
in
more too
purchasing
control.
Sunlight?
Yeah,
What's
we're
that?
taking too much control. Humans are taking too much control
You may
over
be able to
nature.
purchase sunlight after dark. And it sounds very complicated, and it kind of is, but we're going to explain that along with a bunch of other stuff with the Curt and Jen in the Morning podcast.
But first, Curt, how was your birthday last night? I know you went out to dinner with Dina, your wife.
You know what? It's some people take birthdays and they celebrate for like an entire week or a month. Some people will celebrate for 2 or 3 days. We're pretty low key birthday people, Dana and I. But we went out to one of my favorite restaurants, which is Azul in Mill Creek Town Center.
Mhm.
They have amazing margaritas, as you know, and some great food. And then she surprised me with a German chocolate cake and also a garden gnome.
A garden gnome? What is this said garden gnome do? Like, is it doing something?
I think the significance of the garden gnome is that well, I think you've been in the backyard. I have
I
some
have.
light up mushrooms that illuminate at night. They're solar powered, just little mushrooms about, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches high. They're made of glass and they
Okay.
have lights in them. And she's thought, well, we should have a little garden gnome to go out there with the mushrooms to keep an eye on them. And I have a feeling it was like what I do often is on the way out of wherever she was, she's like, "Ooh, there's a clearance. What's that? A garden gnome for $2? Okay." Whatever it was. That happens to you as well. I know everybody. It's like, oh wow, clearance
We
stuff.
need
So
that. And that's cheap. I'm actually saving money by spending it.
that math doesn't always work. That's your girl math there, Jen. But and then oddly enough, we were like it was like 6, I think, 6 o'clock last night, and she's like, I'm really tired. And I was like, okay, we're going to bed early. And it was, to use one of your favorite words, I think, glorious. Glorious.
Glorious.
But then, of course, I
Good.
woke up at 2 a.m.
Well, that's a full 8 hours of sleep. Of course, you
Yep.
woke up at 2 a.m. if you're going to
hmm
bed at 6.
Which is fine. So got the show already. It was a great birthday. Thank you. And thanks to all the birthday wishes out there. Very much appreciated. It was an awesome, awesome birthday. So appreciate it.
So, Curt, yesterday, a couple things happened. One,
Hmm?
I made homemade sourdough English muffins yesterday and had no idea. I don't know if you know this, but English muffins are not baked. You
I
don't
did
bake,
not know that.
you grill them.
No, you can bake them, right?
No, you're not supposed to bake them. I mean, the way that you know how you see the toasty bottom, when you get your English muffins and the bottoms are kind of brown, it's because they put them on a grill.
Oh,
So now you know. I had no
okay.
idea. It was interesting. I was on the outside I was using our Blackstone griddle because it was bigger, so I could do a bunch of them at once. But
Okay.
and they're delicious, and I'm so proud of myself for doing this.
Those are the things that you're like, how did I, in my entire life, how do I just find this out now?
I know. I was
How is
like,
that
my
possible?
mind was blown. I'm like, I don't bake these. I just put them on the griddle. Yes, you just put them on a griddle.
And what
Um,
was the deal with the weather you talked about yesterday?
well, yeah. So the weather yesterday, remember I talked about on the show yesterday how during the weekend it was so rainy, and I'm like, it feels like a fall day, and all these people, there are a crap ton of people that planned outdoor events, outdoor weddings,
Right.
because in the Pacific Northwest, when can you count on sunshine? Well, for sure by the end of August.
Turns
Anyway,
out.
my mom was listening and she was telling me that her friend's son planned a wedding. It was on Friday. It was pouring down rain. It was an
Mm.
outdoor wedding. And she's like, you know what? They got married in the rain. They cried in the rain. They laughed in the rain and they danced in the rain. And then I love this part. And I've never heard of this. They took all of their flowers from the wedding
Hmm.
and went to Providence and Everett and donated them to the all the people having babies at the labor and delivery pavilion there.
Oh my, that's it. That is wow.
Right?
Wow.
How
That's
great is that?
fantastic. Well, because of especially with a wedding, it's like, okay, we're done. These flowers are still in great shape for at least a few
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then firefighter boyfriend Pat, like to me, he's perfect Pat. He
Yes, we know.
we discovered that yesterday he discovered that he's been doing something all wrong the entire time. And here's the question to you. Do you floss your teeth first or do you brush your teeth first?
You know what? You're going to tell me there's a right way, but I generally would floss after I brush, but that's just because I usually think about flossing while I'm brushing. Oh yeah, I got to floss too.
So same with Pat has had a reason. He's like, well, at the dentist, the last thing they do at your checkup is floss your teeth. So I always thought that was, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to, because he was brushing his teeth last night and then he went to floss. I'm like, do you always do it in that order? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay, well, I brush first or I floss first and then I brush. And he's like, well,
The
I'm
thinking
looking.
being that you're going to get all the gunk out of there, right,
And
with
then
the
you got to
floss, and then you're
brush
going
it
to brush your
out.
teeth
Yeah.
and put that final coat of goodness on.
Right. Thank you, Curt. I love it. In the language of Jen, you put a layer of goodness on it. Yes.
The
And
nice thing is that when we do this podcast, there's always somebody who knows the answer, and we will hear from them saying the right way to do it is blah blah blah.
he looked it up last night. He looked it
Oh,
up and he's like, oh, the right way to do it or the recommended way. Here's the thing. If you're, as long as you're flossing, I would say any dentist would
right,
say,
right.
if you want to floss after you brush and that's how you're going to floss, then do it. But
But what's the right way?
the recommended way is to floss first to exactly what you said, get all that gunk out and open up the in between your teeth so that all the goodness, the fluoride can get in and protect your teeth from the cavity creepers.
Forgot about the cavity creeps.
So he's like, that makes me want to brush my teeth again. So he brushed his teeth again. It was
Well, I
funny.
would try this new recommended method, not the only way to do it, but but if I go to my checkup here, which I think is next month, and they don't say this is way better, then I'm gonna do
Okay.
what I want.
Well, then you ask them more about it then.
Right. Well, as I've told
Right.
you in the past, I just do 6 months of flossing like the day before.
I
I
know.
spend the whole day flossing. They can. All
I know
right.
you do. All
This
right.
sausage thing is funny.
Yes. Tell me.
Well, an uptick in sausage demand, right, which means sausage sales are up.
Yeah.
That offers the latest sign of consumers tightening their belts as they continue grappling with high prices. So, in essence, when sausage sales are up, that's a bad sign for the economy.
It is.
This says, this is according to the Dallas Federal Reserve, their Texas Manufacturing Outlook survey. That's a mouthful. There's been modest growth in the dinner sausage category. And as such, this underscores the trends of shoppers opting for cheaper products and pulling back spending altogether as cumulative inflation bites into purchasing power. That's a lot of words, I know. Basically, they're saying people are choosing to trade down. They're
The
saying that
protein.
sausage is a good protein substitute for higher priced proteins and can stretch consumers' food budgets further. So the trade down means, we're going to have sausage instead of steak or chicken, which I don't know how. I mean, sausage is sausage and steak and chicken to me. It's not like so what could have steak or chicken or sausage. It doesn't seem like it's even in the same category, but apparently, um, I guess when the sausage sales are up, that might mean that people are making choices of, yeah, we can't afford steak tonight. We're going to have sausage.
Interesting. Here's the thing about that, though. It depends on the kind of sausage you're buying. Because if you're buying a Cerno's sausage, which is high quality, delicious sausage, by the way,
Hmm.
it's expensive.
And I'm sure that's the kind that my wife gets because she likes the high quality stuff. Because when she met me and I was coming home with, I need some ground beef. Well, they sell it in a tube, the tube of ground beef. No?
I don't know. I just love, here's the thing. I love that they specified it's dinner sausage and not breakfast Jimmy Dean sausage.
Right. Yes. This is
Anyway,
also delicious.
Kurt,
Let's talk about this.
I heard this headline yesterday, but I didn't end up hearing the story, so I'm excited you're talking about it.
Which one is that? The baseball?
But yes, because I'm like, how can that even be the? I mean, I was
Right.
listening to, I started listening to a podcast and then it got screwed up on my phone. And but that they had mentioned one of the, they teased this headline, and I'm like, no way.
Well, it's a Major League Baseball history, basically, is what happened yesterday. And there's a little bit of a well, here's the reason. Danny Jansen is the guy, the player. He became the first player to play for both teams in a single game. And
How?
and so I was thinking, oh, that how do you do that? Well, the beginning of the game, this is between and Danny Jansen was on the Toronto Blue Jays and they're playing the Red Sox. Well, that game was on June 26th and it got postponed due to rain after a certain amount of time. So they postponed this game on June 26th. Since then, Danny Jansen got traded, oddly enough, to the Boston Red Sox.
No
So
way.
they concluded the game yesterday. So he started the game on June 26th as a Blue Jay, and he wrapped up the game yesterday as a Red Sox.
Who
So
do we even know who won? I bet we don't.
I did not look it up.
Wow.
Usually if the Red Sox are involved, I'm not interested, or the Yankees. Whatever. Now I'm going to get in trouble from Yankees fans.
That's crazy. I
How could
love
that ever
that.
happen again? That's such a rare thing. So, but I guess he's in the record books now. That's what it took for Danny
I
Jansen.
mean, that's pretty cool, actually. I kind of like that record. That's awesome. Okay, Apple is coming out with their first generative AI iPhone next month.
Yes, I know you're. A lot of people are a little worried about the whole AI thing, and so this is. You know how Apple, when they release a new, not just an iPhone, anything, they have the big, hey, we're gonna have the conference here and check us out. It used to be always Steve Jobs was up there talking about it, but Apple has announced this is coming up on Monday, next 2 Mondays from now, September 9th. They're hosting a special event. The tagline is "It's Glow Time." Glow Time. All right.
Okay.
It's not exactly clear what glow time is referring to, but embedded artificial intelligence is expected to be a key feature in the latest iPhone, which they apparently unveiled their first batch of tools powered by AI, which they're calling Apple Intelligence, by the way, not artificial intelligence.
Of
AI
course,
to
they're
them is
calling it
Apple
Apple
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Way to go,
You may have
Apple.
seen already the Apple AI generated emoji. And they're also saying that there could be a significantly smarter Siri. Siri's pretty smart.
Yeah.
So this could result with a significantly smarter Siri, which can answer questions about your schedule, what's in your email, and what time your loved one's flight is landing. So I
That
guess it
that will
taps
be
into
the
your schedule or something.
iPhone 16, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Well,
Okay.
here's the what iPhone 15 Pro Max users will likely be able to access at least some of the AI features. The upcoming iPhone 16 is expected to be the first device designed fully with AI in mind,
I got it. Okay.
but
Wow.
that may not be out till next year. So I don't know if that's exciting news to anybody. I just think it makes me think, oh, great, I'm going to have to buy another phone.
So there's basically in your phone, there's just, it's all right here, all you need.
Yes, and now it's faster and smarter than ever. Thank you, Siri. Oh, now my phone went. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
We don't have to talk about this. I just thought it was funny.
Oh, no, I want to talk about this. The
All
fact that
right.
hundreds of people went to a pub garden.
Mm-hmm.
What was
In
it? It's happened on Monday for the World Gravy Wrestling Championships. It's an international competition. It's named one of the top 10 weirdest sports, in quotes, to
really, gravy wrestling is a weird sport.
see 16 men and 8 women battle in a sauce-soaked ring. Like they just poured 528 gallons of gravy were used in the event.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, the competitors dress up nicely. They wear fancy dress, which is aimed to win the championship title by beating their opponent during a 2-minute long wrestling match in gravy.
Gross.
The final winners of the tournament decided by a panel of 4 experienced judges. How do you have experience in gravy wrestling? They decided the winner based on their wrestling skills and also their costume. So
I'm looking at video for that one.
okay, gravy wrestling. Well, I mean, we are between gigs right now, so maybe that's an option for a job if you
I'm
want to
not
move to
doing it. I just want to see the video. I just want to see
Crayola.
it. Oh my God,
Crayola
this is
crayons.
awesome. Crayola's trademarking their slightly earthy smell of its crayons.
For some reason, yes, you might find yourself, and this is, I thought it was going to be so they could make candles. They probably already have Crayola candles, I guess. I don't know. But I'm thinking, okay, they're going to make a scent. Maybe it'll be a, cologne or perfume or something. So Crayola has trademarked the smell of its crayons. Apparently, and this is how they describe the smell, it's a slightly earthy soap with pungent leather-like clay undertones. And none of those on their own sound all that awesome.
Wait a second. So hold on. Is this their actual this is their just their regular crayon scent, right? Or
Yeah, if you go and you smell a Crayola crayon, it apparently is slightly earthy, pungent leather-like clay undertones. But what they're going to do is supposedly they imagine pumping it one day through the aisles of retailers, triggering nostalgia while shoppers are browsing and hopefully subliminally making them want to buy more crayons.
what? Why would you buy crayons? Like unless you're going back to school. I have
There was a bit in this story about how the Crayola sales spike, August and September big time, and the rest of the year, whatever. So apparently, this is a thought they've had for years. If they could possibly get into stores and give people the sweet, sweet smell of crayons,
like
they
what
will
they
buy more.
do in Disneyland, right? They pipe through the fresh baked all the goodness that so you want to go into the store and buy stuff.
True, true. And at Climate Pledge Arena, apparently they have the odor, the scent pumped through Climate Pledge Arena of Seattle.
What?
Yeah.
They do?
Yes. You go work on this next story. I'll try to find the Climate Pledge thing for you.
Okay, I want to know. Okay, so is your boss texting you on the weekend? And if they are, if you're in Australia, they can't anymore. At least they can, and they can't
Ha
expect you
ha.
to respond. So Australian employees can now ignore those and other intrusions into home life thanks to a new they put a law into effect, the right to disconnect law, designed to curb the creep of work emails and calls into their personal lives. This is
Awesome.
awesome. And so here's the thing, there's been talk about this around here in this area where if your boss is going to or your company's going to email you and the expectation is that you respond on the weekend,
Hmm.
that they need to pay you for that time. Anyway, this new rule in Australia, which came into force on Monday, means
Yesterday, yeah.
employees, oh yeah, yesterday. I feel like we're on
Well, that's
Wednesday.
all right. I'm sorry. It wasn't correcting you. Just they're saying
Um,
employees what?
in most cases cannot be punished for refusing to read or respond to contacts from their employers outside of work hours.
Right. And they point out something now maybe say, well, that was a long time ago, but before we had all this technology, digital technology, I mean, the weekend would come, and that was it. Or after hours at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, whatever it is can wait until tomorrow. Maybe if the phone rang, well, I guess if it was an emergency, you might get a call from the boss, but not, oh, by the way, I sent you an email about that contract. Make sure you get it done today. It's like, no, it's
Yeah.
Saturday or even on vacation sometimes.
Now they can text you. And I
Mhm.
mean, everything you need, your work computer's basically on your phone for most people.
Right. And you can't, well, in Australia, you don't have to respond, which I think is awesome. We may get something like that here, like you said, eventually. But that led us to this new, they did a poll and they came up with the most acceptable reasons for a phone call in 2024, which to me was, I didn't know you had to have an acceptable reason. I thought, okay, I need to call somebody for this or that, and you just call.
Now you have to
The
check
recent
this
poll.
list to see if it's acceptable or not.
Well,
I don't get
let's
it.
give the stats, which is the recent poll found nearly a quarter of people under the age of 35 never answer the phone. So if you're calling them, you better have a good reason. And that's why they came up with this list. 2,000 people asked to name the most acceptable reasons for calling someone.
My daughters better be answering the phone when I call, but they don't, and they end up calling me back. It's
Okay.
annoying.
So the acceptable reasons, just a few of them are, this is for a general chat. And you know what, I'm all for, hey, I was thinking of you, remember that time I just wanted to call and say hi and catch up.
But you
Um,
have to know that they're not working at the time that you call. That's the
right.
thing.
But apparently, if they're under 35, you still might want to text first and say, hey, I'm texting you to tell you I'm calling you, which I still think is silly, but I
I
guess that's the way
mean,
it is.
I mean, come on.
Right. But a lot of these so-called acceptable excuses are not great, like to inform someone of a death, announce negative news, or calling in sick to work, or if you're lost or trying to find someone, to share a negative health update. All those made the list.
But to
So
call
I
to
guess
wish
there's
them a happy birthday, that also made the list,
that's
Curt.
true. I was getting to the happy ones. Happy birthday is
Okay.
good. Or to show support when someone's going through a tough time. That's a good one.
Yeah.
How much support can you show by texting? I know you're having a tough time. I support you.
It's not the same as a personal phone call because you
It's not
can't
the
hear the
same. What
voice
else
and
was
you
on
can't hear
there?
the
It was
voice.
good.
Just to share positive news, like we're gonna have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, to wish them happy birthday. I think that's all the positive things. Am I
Right.
missing
Well,
something that's
also things
positive?
like, to book things like a hotel or restaurant reservation, you can obviously do that online as well, but a lot of people would rather do it in person. And when you're running late, because to me, well, now you've got voice to text. Jen, you use that a lot. I'm still like, oh, I got to text Jen and using my thumbs. But yeah, now you can use voice to text or whatever. But if you are running late, you need to give somebody a call and say, hey, I'm 5 minutes out or whatever, I suppose. And the final statistic on here, the poll found the average adult in 2024 spends only 5.5 minutes a day on the phone. 5.5 minutes?
I mean, I guess on average, that would probably be about right, wouldn't you think?
Well, this can't be. I suppose this is not including work time, because at work you got to take a bunch of phone calls. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I usually I return phone calls and make phone calls on my I used to on my drive into work on the way home, and give you something to do to catch up or whatever. But I suppose 5.5 minutes is, and you know what? Back in the day, they'd say that's great. You shouldn't spend so much time on the phone.
Now we're
So I
saying
suppose
don't
that's a good
spend so
thing.
much time on your phone for the screen time purpose.
See, I know, you know what? When I get those things every week, it says your screen time was up from last week. And I'm like, how is my screen time up? I didn't think I had that much screen time. Let me jump back to the Climate Pledge Arena scent. It
Yes.
has a scent that's considered a mixture of a faint, salty aroma meant to remind you of the sea. So that is being pumped into Climate Pledge Arena when you're there. I remember reading that they were going to have it be scented somehow, and that's the Climate Pledge Arena signature scent. When you're watching hockey, you're thinking of the sea.
Huh.
Or when you're watching a concert for that matter. Maybe they don't pump it into concerts.
I need to pay more attention to that the next time I'm there because I have not noticed that. So I will take some, really just breathe it
Take it
in.
in and see if you get
Yeah,
that faint, faint, salty aroma.
I'll do it. I'm doing it. Okay, this was fun. What's your walk-up song for life? Like, what is that one song that you hear and instantly put you in a good mood? It's your like, let's
Right.
go, let's do this song.
We brought this
So
up yesterday because we found out that Instagram is now allowing you to have music featured on your homepage or
your
whatever,
bio, yeah.
your bio. Yeah. So you can choose a song to put on there for people to play. And we'd like, well, what would our walk-up song be if you had to have a walk-up, like a hype song, a walk-up song? And Jen, you had a good one. You talked about well, you can explain it. There's a mashup,
Well,
right?
there's a mashup of like Bee Gees, Staying Alive is one of my favorite songs. That song will like, I can't help but dance to it. But then they did a mashup with 50 Cent in the club, into club. It's so good.
I
I'll
just think
try to post it in the comments. I'll post a link to it in
in
the
the comments.
comments on
Yeah.
Facebook on this because people responded to this. But yeah, I'll put a link to it. It's a good one. But I love the people that responded to us, like Zolanda, Holiday by Madonna, and Eye of the Tiger.
Wait. How do you know that's not Holiday by Green Day?
Oh,
I'm
maybe it
sure
is.
it's not. It's not. It's got to be Madonna.
I don't know the Green Day one. How does that one
On
go?
holiday. Yeah, I'm not going to sing it for you, but yeah, I'm sure it's Madonna. Sorry, I was being what you call a smart arse
Eye of
there.
the Tiger. Who sings that one?
Survivor. That's the Rocky song.
That's what I thought. Okay. Well, sometimes I
Judy
think
put. Remember the Rascals? It's a beautiful morning.
love that. Yeah.
That's
Good one,
Judy's.
Judy.
Matt has a great hype song, which I think was actually designed only to be a hype song. Turn down for what? That is Lil Jon and everybody. Turned down for what? But he would say, if it's a hype song, it's turned down for what? If we're talking about an infectious song that I always end up singing and clapping to, it's Hand Clap by Fits and the Tantrums.
That's this one.
They can make your hands clap. Yep, that's the one. How about Sonia? Funky Town
By
by
Lip
Lips
Sync.
Inc. Yes,
Okay.
Funky Town.
You know what's so funny? I just learned.
What?
I did not know that's the way you spelled the band's name. Lips, Lipps, comma Inc. But I just thought it was lip sync.
Oh, Lip Sync. I never put that together until right now because Lips Inc. and Funky Town, I think, came out before lip syncing was a thing.
So the way that you interpreted it and the way I interpreted it is exactly opposite. Like I literally thought it was the by lip sync.
And I thought it was by Lips Incorporated, which is how it's spelled. I didn't. Sometimes, you know what? When you can read things all you want, but then somebody says, "Yeah, that's by Lip Sync." You're like, "Oh yeah, Lip Sync."
I don't know Halsey's song, so I'm gonna have to look that up. Counting My Blessings by Seth. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Seth Schluter, I guess.
Seth
Uh,
Schluter. And then I
your
start every
friend
day with a
Corey.
grateful heart. I love that.
Corey said Footloose. Can't help but happy dance every time I hear Footloose. That's a good one, Corey. And then Laurel, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Flannery is You Can Call Me AI.
Jen.
You Can Call
Paul
Me Al.
Simon, you can call me Al.
How does that go?
Oh, jeez.
Come on, sing a little ditty. You're a musician.
I've got these other songs stuck in my head right now. If you be my bodyguard, I
Oh, I
would
know.
be.
Okay, I know. I didn't know it was called You Can Call Me Al. I was like
Yeah.
AI by
It's a
Paul
long, well, it does
Simon.
look like AI the way it's printed here. Amanda said Me Too and I Love Me by Megan Trainor. Good choices. Maya Manning said only one. It's hard to pick just one. She really loves Jump, just very upbeat, which could be Jump by Pointer Sisters or Jump by Van Halen.
Or what's the
Or
one by Chris Cross? That one's called Jump too,
Jump,
isn't it?
Jump. That's
I
Jump,
love
Jump.
that one.
Or it could be also it could be Jump Around,
Ooh, okay,
Jump up and
Maya,
get
you're gonna have to
down.
tell us what jump it is.
Yeah, that one is Jump Around, but
Anissa
yeah,
said Yeah by Usher, which is another great one.
can't
That's
beat
a good
that.
one. Let's see. Kristen
Kristen,
said that changes, but right now, No Excuses by Megan Trainor sets the vibe for her. Connie
Connie,
said Walking on
perfect one.
Sunshine. Yeah.
Katrina and the Waves. Andrea, thank you for picking The Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. And she
Oh,
also said, additionally, a song called Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan, who is making, she's been around for a while, country, kind of, I don't know, American, I don't know how to describe Chapel, but that is a Pink Pony Club is a song about doing your own thing, kind of, and not worrying about what other people think.
Curt, I'm just going to express gratitude to you that you know so much about music and so many artists. Like, I know that Florence and the Machine is like I feel like it's one of your favorites, that you really like them. I've
Yes.
never even heard of
Chapel Roan?
Chaperone. Like
Ask,
chaperone. Is that how that's supposed to be? Like chaperone?
no, it's from the family name. um, ask your daughter Riley about Chapel Roan and see if she knows. I bet she does.
Pink Pony Club.
That's the song. Yes.
Do I know that song?
I'm sure that you don't. It's
Okay.
relatively new. I think it's him 3 or 4 years ago, but
Okay.
yeah, it's worth looking into. There's just a suggestion, try to.
Okay, a few more. Danielle said Walking on Sunshine again, Katrina and the Waves. And then Jody said Pour Some Sugar on Me or anything by Def Leppard, really. Jody, yes. Yes.
Yes. And I'm waiting to the very end to share mine because I had to think about it, and I still don't think I've narrowed it down to one. But the one that keeps coming back to mind as a walk up song for me would be "All My Life" by Foo Fighters. Done, on to the next one. Done, I'm done. It's got a lot of punch to it.
Okay. It gets you
That, but
going.
yeah, oh yeah. But so
Okay.
many, and you know what? Still feel free to chime in on this on any of the well, I guess we've had on Facebook and whatnot. But yeah, we'd love to hear what you think your walk-up song would be, your walk-up song for life, for your life.
Okay, Curt, I don't know how I feel about this next little thing that we've
It's
got going.
bizarre.
Tell me about this, because I can't even wrap my head around
When I
this.
read the headline, yeah, I was like, this sounds like I don't know, sunglasses or something. It's a tech startup. And the guy that started this, one of the co-founders, is a former SpaceX employee. So you know that they're smart. A tech startup is using mirrored satellites to sell what they call sunlight after dark. Now, apparently, what they're trying to do is use a tech. The company is called I'm sorry, the company is called Reflect Orbital,
Okay.
and they're trying to put up into space a bunch of mirrored satellites that can reflect sunlight and direct it anywhere on Earth. So even when it's like nighttime here, it's daytime on the other part of the planet, right?
Yeah.
So apparently they can take these. What they want to do is they want to take these mirrored satellites and, like you would with a mirror, reflect the sunlight into areas of the world that are in the middle of the night. The idea being, I guess what they're saying is the benefit would be It's mainly designed to help big solar farms keep generating power at night. But if you're interested, anyone can go to their website. You can fill out a sunshine application by October 23rd if you want to have some sunlight. But here's the deal as well. You need to have a pretty big plot of land or you're going to annoy your neighbors, because each patch of sunlight that they're going to try to send down from space in the middle of the night is going to be about 3 miles across. So if you're like, I just want to have sunshine in my backyard, that can happen, but it's also going to be in the backyard of a 3 mile radius. Your neighbors may not be too hip on sunlight at 2 in the morning.
Can you even imagine? And I'm also thinking it might be helpful in Alaska, where there's that very short amount of time where you get no daylight at all.
What? Oh, I'm seeing what in the wintertime there, where it's, oh, I see what you're saying, where it's dark like
the whole
22 hours of the
time.
day.
Maybe you can give Alaska a little more sunshine.
Well, apparently it's going to be expensive.
I imagine I was going to ask about that. Like, if Jen
for
goes
now,
and applies for some sunshine, how much is it going to cost? Well, you know what? Zero, because I bring my own.
well, nicely done. That's a mic drop right there, isn't it? I bring my own. You were also excited about this, Jen. This is from IKEA.
Yeah, they're launching a new website where customers will be able to sell their used IKEA furniture.
Right, their pre-owned IKEA furniture on this new IKEA website. It's called IKEA Pre-Owned. Right now, they're testing it in Spain and also in Norway through the end of the year, with plans to roll it out into other countries after that if it's successful. I don't see how it would not be successful.
I don't either, because I'll tell you what, there is some furniture for like IKEA furniture that is in demand, I will say. Like,
I know someone, and I would not have known this if they hadn't said it. They redid their kitchen. Total redesign of their kitchen, totally redone cabinetry and everything like that. And like, yeah, we used all IKEA stuff. Like, this looks really nice. Yeah. I would not have known, So apparently they've already got a small program where they sometimes buy back used stuff and resell it. This is going to be a peer-to-peer marketplace. So it'll just be, me saying to you, Jen, and everybody else, hey, I've got this stuff to sell. The downside is that you have to, what's that?
It's like marketplace. Like, it's like Facebook Marketplace, or
yeah.
What's the other one? OfferUp.
Only like those type of things.
Only it's IKEA pre-owned.
Exclusive for IKEA stuff. The challenge thing is you have to disassemble everything before you sell it and then make it impossible to put back together. So the entire IKEA experience.
You do not.
No, you don't do.
Okay. That that's the great thing about buying pre-owned IKEA furniture, is that you get it already put together.
Already assembled. Although I wouldn't trust, that's one thing I'm going to say about IKEA and any assembled furniture. Once it's assembled and you try to move it, I'm not sure it's the most structurally, safe type of stuff. Like you move an IKEA bed frame that's put together, it may kink and crack, and they're barely put together. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, there's some things from IKEA that are better than others. That's for sure.
But that's like
any place. That's like any place. And did you already mention this, that it has a few bells and whistles? And this is great. An AI-powered database that will add images and measurements for you when you post something of theirs. That's also amazing. Nice. And you'll have the option of being paid in cash or in IKEA credit with a 15% bonus. Boom.
That's interesting, because it's a peer-to-peer thing, person-to-person thing. But IKEA is like, or you know what? We'll give you some bonus bucks here if you just do IKEA credit. I apologize to making that the voice for the IKEA people. Sorry about that. I'm an IKEA person. Jeez.
All right. So for tomorrow, this came up because something happened a couple weeks ago where I don't ever really see Firefighter Pat get mad. But he was mad because he made a big mistake that's real expensive.
Yes. And so we're looking for from you, and we'll share that story tomorrow as well.
Yeah, your most expensive mistake you've ever made. Like, just that moment that you had where it's like, oh my God, I can't even believe I did that. And now it cost you a crap ton of money to fix it.
And those of you that are saying, my first marriage, we don't want marriage. That meant, because that's going to be a lot of people. Well, you know what? It was my first husband. That was the most expensive mistake I ever made. You can put that if you want. But that's
kind of funny, actually.
Yes. Again, the most expensive mistake you ever made on all these platforms, let us know. And I'm sure we're going to get a long list of great mistakes, the great mistakes.
the great mistakes that you've made that have cost a lot of money.
I think I just thought
Thank
of a band name. We're the Great Mistakes, everybody.
we just want to say thank you. We're expressing
Hmm.
gratitude. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making us part of your daily routine. That is the hope that,
Yeah.
we just get to keep you company while you're getting ready for work, on your way to work, on your way home from work, whenever and wherever it's convenient for you. We appreciate you listening. Please spread the word
Yeah.
and have an awesome day. Make good choices, find joy, and spread kindness.